This episode of The Young Turks brought to you by Jackthread.
Tens of thousands of protesters, not just in Tehran, but in different cities throughout Iran. Iran, we hear now, is trying to block the internet again. They're even trying to block some of the phone lines. You know why? Because dictatorial governments don't like information. Information is power. And they want to squash and quash the information outflow. And they don't want their people to get that knowledge. And so, of course, Iran is busy trying to do that as people try to organize online. Our State Department has put out tweets in Farsi trying to reach the Iranian people saying that they encourage their democracy. Okay? So here we go again. You know where I stand on this. Let's go Iranian people. I couldn't be more against the Iranian government, and I couldn't be more against some of our neocons in this country who think the proper course against that government is to bomb them, to attack them. So when people are protesting against the Iranian government, instantly we jump in it. Hillary Clinton comes out. We got the Farsi tweet. We got her coming out with a comment saying, we support the Iranian people. The Iranian government's got to go. Now, you remember, that took us quite some time to get there with the Egyptian government. Now, was the Egyptian government less of a dictator than the dictator in Iran? Or actually the set of dictators in Iran? Because you've got the mullahs, you've got the Grand Ayatollah, you've got Ahmadinejad. There's a ruling class there. There was a ruling class in Egypt. But there was a more clear one solo dictator in Egypt, and that was Mubarak. Was Mubarak any better? I mean, he was only better for our interests. He did whatever we liked, right? So, of course, they were more on his side since he was a quote-unquote ally. Look, we got to be a little bit more consistent than that. And I want to add another thing to that, which is that, some people took the ending of my Friday show on MSNBC to be like jingoistic or something. I even had it written down in that script, and I had scripted that one out, that I'm not trying to be jingoistic, and I took it out because I thought it was clear enough. But if you saw it, or if you didn't see it, let me tell you, I said, look, our founding fathers would be proud of the sons of freedom in Egypt and on a revolution well done. And I said it was a triumph of the American idea. Now, some people are like, oh, what does America have to do with this? You're trying to take credit. No, you're missing it. You're missing it. I'm not trying to take credit for America. I'm trying to push America in the right direction. I want to tell the people that are watching television in America, hey, listen, we should be celebrating this. Remember, this is what our founding fathers wanted. They would have been ecstatic over this. It's not to say take credit for the Egyptian revolution for the United States. As I noted earlier in that little segment, I said, look, some people complain, maybe rightfully so, that America was too slow to act there. I was the one who made that complaint. So I wish we'd gotten on the right side, on the side of democracy much earlier, not just during the protests, but during the 29-year rule of Mubarak as he was a dictator throughout, right? So I get that 100%. What I'm saying is to the Americans that are watching, hey, remember, these are the good guys, the protesters. These are the people yearning for freedom. That's exactly what we should be supporting. Now, I'm glad we're doing that in Iran. That's definitely a positive development. Now, looking forward, you've got protests in Algeria, you got protests in Yemen, and all of this we have mixed feelings toward here in the U.S., depending on whether these dictators are our allies or not. Keep it real. And the one government we will never mention is Saudi Arabia, which is as much of a dictatorship as it can possibly get. But if you ask government officials here, no, not Saudi Arabia. No, what are you talking about? Be cool. Why? Saudis do business with us. They give us money. We have a lot of contracts with them. And they have oil. I don't know if you noticed that. And they're on our side. Believe me, that counts for a lot in American diplomacy. Nobody's missing that point.
This episode of The Young Turks is brought to you by Jackthreads.